The M7, America's overlooked medium tank. When the average person thinks of American tanks from World War II, two models usually come to mind. The reliable M4 Sherman, the backbone of the U.S. Armored Forces, and the formidable M26 Pershing, which arrived late in the war to counter the German Tigers and Panthers. But nestled between these two legendary tanks lies a lesser-known chapter in U.S. tank history. The tale of the M7 medium tank, designed to potentially replace the Sherman. The M7 had power, potential, and high expectations. Unfortunately, its greatest flaw was timing. It emerged when it was no longer needed. Origins of the M7, evolving from light to medium. The M7's story began in 1941-42, as U.S. military strategists struggled to find the right blend of speed, firepower, and armor. At the time, the Army's go-to light tank was the M3 Stuart, nimble but outgunned with a 37mm cannon, particularly as German Panzer IVs became more heavily armed during the North African campaign. Meanwhile, the M3 Lee, a medium tank with a clunky, sponson-mounted 75mm gun, was merely a stopgap until the more capable M4 Sherman could roll off the production lines. The Army sought a vehicle that offered the agility of a light tank with the punch of a medium tank. Initially named the T7 light tank, the concept quickly outgrew its light designation. As engineers added heavier armor and a 75mm gun, the tank's weight increased significantly. By 1942, the Army reclassified it as the M7 medium tank, marking it as a product of America's rapidly evolving tank development strategy. Design and features. On paper, the M7 held promise. Smaller than the Sherman, it had a lower profile, making it less of a target. Its welded hull and curved cast turret offered a sleeker look compared to the blocky M3s and early Sherman variants. Its weight, approximately 25 tons, lighter than the 30-ton plus Sherman. Its armor, up to 63mm at its thickest, reasonable by 1942 standards. Its armament, a 75mm M3 gun, the same as the Sherman's, plus 30 and 50 caliber machine guns. Its engine, a Continental radial gasoline engine generating 425 horsepower. Top speed about 35 miles per hour or 48 kilometers per hour on roads. The M7 packed Sherman-grade firepower into a more nimble design. Wide tracks provided good off-road mobility, and its compact size was a tactical bonus. Troops who tested it often praised its handling and responsiveness, particularly when compared to the bulkier Sherman. Production and initial use. In late 1942, the Army gave the green light for M7 production, ordering roughly 3,000 units. Manufacturing began in 1943, and the first tanks were sent to training grounds for testing. Initial feedback was largely positive. Soldiers appreciated its compact size and maneuverability. It could keep up with advancing infantry and had the firepower to destroy bunkers, anti-tank positions, and early to mid-war German tanks. But as more units were built, serious issues started to surface. Major shortcomings, overlap, and weight gain. The M7's core problem was redundancy. By the time it reached the field, the M4 Sherman was already being mass-produced in huge quantities. The Sherman was a bit heavier and bulkier, but had better armor and, crucially, was a proven machine with established logistics and interchangeable parts. To make things worse, the M7, originally designed as a light-medium hybrid, kept putting on weight during development. Engineers added more armor to address vulnerabilities, but this brought its weight close to that of the Sherman, eliminating its speed and mobility edge, without delivering any significant improvements in firepower or protection. The U.S. Army's tank doctrine was also changing. Rather than field multiple designs for various roles, the Army doubled down on the Sherman as its standard medium tank. investing in upgrades, improved guns, better armor, and superior suspensions. In this context, the M7 looked more like a distraction than an innovation. Cancellation and aftermath. By mid-1943, after producing just 13 units, the Army canceled the M7 program. The 3,000-unit order was scrapped, and production lines were redirected back to building Shermans. Most M7s remained stateside, serving in training and testing capacities. The Sherman maintained its dominance, while the M7 faded into obscurity. Why the M7 still matters. Even though it never saw combat, the M7's brief existence tells a deeper story about the fast-paced evolution of tank warfare during World War II. In 1942, the M7 seemed like a smart solution, a fast, well-armed tank bridging the gap between light and medium categories. But the rapid pace of technological and tactical change rendered it obsolete before it could prove itself. The M7 also underscores the value of American industrial strategy during the war. The U.S. didn't win by fielding the absolute best tank, it won by mass-producing a good one. The Sherman could be built in huge numbers, serviced easily, and upgraded quickly. The M7, while interesting, risked complicating logistics for little battlefield gain. Remembering the M7. Today, only a few M7s survive in museums. Often overshadowed by the Sherman and other iconic tanks, the M7 remains a compelling what-if in U.S. tank history. Had the Sherman failed, the M7 might have stepped up. Instead, it stands as a testament to how timing, not just design, determines a weapon's fate. Rather than a failed tank, the M7 was simply a solution to a problem that had already been solved. Some final thoughts. Right design, wrong moment. Though it never landed in Europe or fired a shot in battle, the M7's development story mirrors the whirlwind of innovation that characterized World War II. What started as a light tank became a medium, only to be shelved before deployment. It was a trial in agility, firepower, and adaptability. Ultimately, the M7 serves as an intriguing footnote in America's armored history, a vehicle built with the right intentions, but for the wrong moment. If history teaches anything, it's that the best designs don't always win. The ones that arrive when they're needed most often do.